Today I'm going to turn this into this using the Cricut Maker 3. It's time for my youngest son to start learning an instrument, so I asked him what he wanted to learn how to play.
I want to be like Flea.
You want to be like Flea?
Yeah.
Okay. So I started looking for a bass to buy him, and I really didn't want to spend that kind of money on a 7-year-old, so I figured I could just build one for him myself. Then I started loading up my cart with some parts and realized that all of those parts were more expensive than a mini Squire. So off to eBay I went, and I was looking for instruments that were listed under for parts only, and I kept losing out on a bunch of auctions until finally I won this for about 75 bucks. What's wrong with it? The nut is filed a little bit too low just on the E string and it buzzes. So that's a super easy fix. I could just replace the nut, but that really wouldn't make for such an interesting video. So let's try to make this a bit more interesting. So I asked my son what kind of design he wanted on his bass.
An elephant.
An elephant?
Yeah.
Okay. An elephant. Okay. Then my oldest son had a really good idea.
So how about, because mine is water, yours can be fire.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good idea. I like that.
Fire it is. Let's see if I could do this. The first thing to do is disassemble the base. I start by removing the strings and then take off the neck, which is only held in place with these 4 screws. I don't want to lose any of these parts, so I make sure to put them all in a safe place as I'm going to work on the bass. Then I remove the rest of the hardware, the strap buttons, the bridge, the pickguard, which all the electronics are attached to, and I make sure to label all of the wires that are going out, like the ground wires for the bridge, so I know how to put it all back together when I'm done. So I considered making a whole new body and just using all of these as like templates for the new one, but I think that this shape really works well with a fire shape. Also, why waste more wood when this is perfectly good wood? I'm going to assume that it's poplar before taking off the finish. So sanding would probably take a really long time to do. So Google said that I can use a heat gun to remove the finish on these guitars. I have a really little heat gun, so I'm hoping this is powerful enough. Let's see. I'm definitely going to wear a mask while doing this because I don't want to inhale those fumes from the heat of the paint. All right, so this whole process was easier than I thought it would be. You could see how the heat gun makes the finish bubble up and it starts to get soft. The hardest part about this whole process was just getting started and removing enough material so I can get the putty knife under and scrape it away. It was super satisfying when the paint came off in chunks, but it took me a bit to get used to it and figure out what was best. So I realized there was a certain angle that worked best, and I also realized that keeping the putty knife warm from the heat gun was really helpful as well, which got me thinking about making some sort of attachment for the heat gun that could be used in this sort of way. Anyway, the front and back took me about 40 minutes to do all together, and the sides took about 20 minutes or so. All in all, it took about an hour to get all this finish off, so that's not too bad. Sanding would have taken way longer and would have clogged up a ton of sandpaper. Awesome. There was still some sanding required because there was a layer of what I'm going to assume is sealer on there, but that took no time at all to remove, and I was correct. It's a beautiful poplar body. Onto the design. I traced the body and asked my daughter to color in the flames. This was a family project through and through. She drew these red, orange, and yellow flames coming out from the bridge that had a black background, and I thought it looked super cool. So I went into Inkscape and recreated those flames she drew so that I could turn it into an SVG file that I can then send to the Cricut Maker 3. More on that in a little bit, but first I need to prep the body for paint. I taped up the neck pocket so I don't ruin the fit by adding paint into it, and the control cavity since it looked like it was already painted with shielding paint, and I don't want to cover that up. There are a lot of ways that you can paint a guitar body. You can simply hang the body through the neck holes with a string or a wire hanger, or you can make a whole contraption with a dowel or broom handle that rotates in a PVC pipe. I went with something in the middle. I just screwed a scrap piece of plywood to the neck pocket through the back and clamped the scrap to my workbench. I started with the body flat so I can get around all the sides. Then I flipped it on its side so I can get it even coverage on the back. and on the front. This first layer is just primer, which I then sanded back so that everything was nice and smooth. Then I repeated the same process as before. Spray the sides, then flip it and spray the front and back. I think I put on a total of 4 light coats, and I chose to use gloss paint because the vinyl I'm going to use sticks better to glossy surfaces. I let that dry for a couple of days so the paint can cure. Now onto cutting that vinyl. Remember that SVG file of the flames I created earlier? I brought that into Cricut Design Space, the program that's used with the Cricut machine, and it is really easy and intuitive to use. I changed the image from a black SVG to the colors that I want, and the Design Space separated those colors into 3 different cuts that Design Space color codes, so it's really easy to follow and you don't mess it up. All you have to do is load the correct vinyl into the machine, tell the program what material you're cutting, and press start. I'm using permanent vinyl here since I want these decals to be permanent, but the Cricut Maker can cut tons of other materials. It can even cut really thin wood like veneers. But since this is my first project with it, I decided to keep it simple. Seeing how easy this was to set up and use, I will definitely be experimenting with other materials moving forward. So I created all these shapes on another program, but you could design right in the Cricut Design Space as well. I wanted to create a custom logo for the headstock. This is a little private joke in my family. The kids wanted to name the guitar Chugs. So all I had to do was type the word Chugs in Design Space and pick a font. I picked a script that was close to the Fender or Squier logo, adjusted the size, and cut it out. I just want to show you guys how quickly this cuts. This is in real time. That's it. It's so quick and it's so fun to watch. After cutting, you take this weeding tool and peel away all the excess vinyl. This was really cool to see the shapes come to life. The weeding tool really comes in handy when you have to remove small parts like the insides of letters. I only had one of those on my little Chugs logo though. In order to apply the vinyl, you use something called transfer tape. You cut it to size and apply it to the decal using this scraper tool to make sure the vinyl is adhered well to the transfer tape. Once you apply this permanent vinyl, it's stuck on there, so I wanted to make sure I was getting all the pieces in the correct position before applying it. So I peeled the transfer tape that has the decal on it away from the backing paper and placed the decals on some parchment paper. The decal won't stick to the parchment paper at all, and it's just see-through enough so you can see where you're placing it and it will be in the correct spot. Since the whole flame design was centered around the bridge, I used that as my guide for where to place the first yellow piece of the flame. Once it's in the correct position, I use painter's tape to make sure it won't move. Then I lifted it up, peeled away the parchment paper, and placed the decal down using the scraper to make sure it's stuck on there really well. The decal is still attached to the transfer tape at this point, so the last step in the process is to remove the transfer tape. And that's all there is to it. Now I just need to repeat the same thing for the rest of the pieces and the design, and you can see how the parchment paper is just translucent enough so I can see the design underneath to make sure it's going to be placed in the correct spot. I think it's so cool how this design came to life from my daughter's drawing. She actually said she wants to learn how to play bass now after being involved in the whole design process, which I think is very cool. Anyway, I used a blade to cut away all the excess vinyl from the pickup and control cavities, then got to working on the pickguard. The one that came with the base was white, which would cover up too much of the design. So I had to make my own from a sheet of 1/4 inch thick plexiglass. I traced the shape of the original and rough cut it at the bandsaw, then marked all the holes from the original onto it and drilled them out at the drill press. The cutout for the pickups in the center was the most difficult part of this for sure. Well, not difficult, just stressful because I was scared I was going to completely ruin it because I had to use my jigsaw, which is my least favorite tool. I just cut really slowly and it worked just fine. After it was cut out, I could clean up all the edges with the benchtop sander and get it to final shape. If you've ever seen the edge of a pickguard, there's a bevel down the whole edge of it. So I wanted to create that bevel on this piece of plexiglass as well, which took me a minute to figure out. Here's what I did. I rough cut a piece of MDF to the same shape as the pickguard. Then I used double-sided tape and a flush trim bit to make it the exact same size. Then I swapped out to a chamfer bit and raised it so the cutter will be cutting the whole edge of the plexiglass, but the bearing was still able to ride on the MDF. If the MDF wasn't there, there would be nothing riding on the bearing of the bit, and the cutter would just mess up the whole edge. After removing the MDF, you can see that the whole edge has a nice even bevel going all the way around. Last thing to do on this pickguard was just to countersink all the holes, and now onto the headstock. A card scraper made really quick work of removing the Squire logo, but I left the mini on there and applied my new Chugs logo using the same method as before with the parchment paper to make sure it was in the correct spot. Now we have a Chugs mini. Love it. Now on to fixing what was actually wrong with the base to begin with. The nut. It easily came out with a few taps, and I just needed to scrape out some of the dried glue before tapping in a new one. I used a dab of glue as well, but did it off camera. Problem solved. Time to finish this thing up. I started with the neck, then put the pickups in place. The pots and knobs will be attached to the pickguard like the original, so it was time to take off the protective layer, which was super exciting for me. That is pretty. The clear pickguard came out so cool. I love it so much. After that, it was just a matter of screwing everything to the pickguard, making sure to put all the ground wires back into place, and I can screw the pickguard on. The original came with chrome screws, but I replaced them with black ones because I thought it would blend better, and it does. Then I put on the bridge, making sure that the ground wire was under there, put on the strap buttons, put the knobs in place, and loaded it up with strings. Time to surprise my son. Close your eyes and stand right there, okay? Don't open your eyes yet. Okay, open them.
Whoa! It's so cool. You're plugging in this base out. Is it electric?
Stop. Yep,
electric,
of course
yeah.
it's electric. I'm not going to kill your ears by playing the sounds of my 7-year-old playing here, but I think he's pretty happy with it, so I'm happy with it. I was considering filling in the gaps in the clear pickguard with some more vinyl to continue the flame design, but my son said one of his favorite parts is that he can see the wires, so I'm going to leave it just like that.
See the wires. So cool.
It's so cool to see the wires. You didn't even notice something else.
What?
Look at the headstock. What does it say?
Chugs.
Is that funny?
Yeah.
All right, so first thing I want to check to see if I fixed the whole problem with the E-string buzzing. I think we're good there. So I'm really happy with the way this thing turned out, but I know this isn't my typical project that I normally make. It was basically just me refinishing the guitar, making a new pickguard, but sometimes it just doesn't make sense to build something from scratch. It didn't make sense for me to spend all that time and money for a 7-year-old beginner player. But if he decides that he loves to play the bass down the road, I will definitely build him a new one that will be really awesome. So I hope he takes it seriously so that I can get to building him a really awesome bass. But for now, I think it's pretty cool that he has this really unique thing that he thinks is cool also. I think it's really awesome what a paint job and a Cricut maker can do. Just have this really unique instrument. I think it's pretty cool. So I don't know how to play the bass at all. I have no idea what I'm doing. And I also don't even think I have the correct amp for playing a bass, but I'll give it a shot. I don't know what I'm doing. All right, that's all I got. So huge thanks to WOODCRAFT and Cricut for sponsoring this video. But before I go, just want to quickly mention that I still have a special offer for the Fetch Rewards app. Fetch Rewards is a great way to save money when you're shopping for the things you need. You earn points when you scan your receipts for any purchase you make, whether it's a big box store, gas station, or restaurant. I always make sure to check to see what sort of special offers are available before I go shopping and pick up items that I know will earn me more points. These points can then be redeemed for gift cards that you can use for yourself or hand out as gifts. If you want to check it out for yourself, check out the link in the description box down below and use the code 3x3custom to get 3,000 bonus points when you download the app. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. How do I play this thing? Can I use a pick? Is that legal?